What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Decavir's Craft the World. In the previous episode, we had started building this super badass tower over here. I'm pretty pleased with myself. I'm not a very good builder. I was terrible with an erector set. I was no good with Legos. Basically, if it required any sort of intellect to operate it, I was not doing very well with it as a child. Aside from, like, I don't know, I did pretty well with some puzzle games on the Nintendo, but other than that, what I'd like to do in this episode is we're going to continue doing some aesthetic beautification of this whole thing, and we're going to start by doing this right here, and you'll see what I mean. This is going to be pretty badass. I had this idea the other night while I was sitting there twiddling. I'm not going to tell you what I was twiddling, but I was twiddling. For sure, there's twiddlication happening. Now, we're going to put in a little back wall right here. And the reason I'm doing that is just to try together all of this kind of castle-y formation. We may do, like, I think only 2 layers. But I think the 3rd layer is going to make it look weird. I'm excited that we've gotten to the building portion, though, right now. It's one of my favorite things about crafting games. Let's slaughter him rapidly before he does any damage. See, he got, like, one little pimp slap off on one of my dwarves. And I can't have my dwarves coming home with red cheeks from anything other than alcohol. I had to addend that sentence midway through because I realized dwarves probably come home with reddened cheeks all the time from spanking. But anyways, let's have a look down here. We had dug pretty far down into the dungeon, and what I'd like to do now is make my life a little bit easier by doing a straight shaft that drops down. So let's get at that. And you guys had said to exercise some caution while we were deep down in this red dirt right here, so I am going to do just that, I assure you. Let's dig down from here, I think. That's where we're going to start. So we'll go down maybe to there. The other thing that I'd like to focus on is I don't think we ever got to terms, with all this stuff right here. We've still got a bit of mining to go left in this shaft, so let's get right back on it. I'm going to put in some structural supports right there, or some scaffoldings. And I'm also going to drop some torches down in here so that we don't have to deal with any of those encroaching nasty vines. Don't want to have to deal with any ivy right now. It's one of those little things that it's a struggle. You are constantly just beating back that leafy greeny badness. And while it does give you a little bit of the resources required to make salads and things of that nature, it's irritating. I don't like to deal with it. Now what I'd like to do here is something like that. Unfortunately, because we haven't gone an odd amount, I'll drop a scaffold there and I'll drop a scaffold there, and they should be able to get it done. And that backdrop right there is just going to continue the motif, the castellations. I don't really remember what those are called. You guys told me what they were called when I was playing Towns a long, long time ago, but my memory doesn't function over like the span of hours, let alone like a year, so I apologize for not remembering. But I think they were called like crenellations or castellations or something like that. Either way, it makes the whole thing, maybe I'll move them. I don't know what's going to look better. Maybe going like right to there. I think I prefer that. I do sincerely wish that we had one more spacing this way. I suppose I could just move the wall back and then move the roof back with it. But whatever, I'll think about that later. We'll do all the beautification process. I'll fix things in between episodes because I know you guys aren't interested in watching me fix things while we go through. We got to do new stuff. So let's go to our crafting tree. And you'll remember we were going to turn this into sort of an expanded, we're going to do a loft right here, I think. Let me find my wooden boards. Or the wooden walls. And we're going to drop those in for the torches right now. We're going to put a couple beds over here and maybe some relaxation objects of an unknown type. Cool, and that'll sort of act like a catch-all for anything that we wanted to drop down in here. I'm excited about the way this is going to look. I wanted to give it a little more headspace, but I think it works out as it stands right now. We can just place some stuff in there. Maybe we'll chop that out, and once they put that in, it's just going to look like this right here. We may put some further beds upon it. Do I have any better beds remaining too? I have 2 of them. So let's think about replacing some of these beat up beds too. Let's get rid of that bed right there and that bed right there, and we'll replace it with one of the nicer ones. This one's just got a red blanket on it, but I'd rather sleep on a bed with a blanket than a bed with no blanket. Blankets are one of my favorite things in all the world. If I had to classify things that I'm really glad that I live in the era of fluffy blankets that you can get from Target or Walmart, definitely high on the list. One year for Christmas, my aunt got me a blanket that was made by Quakers, or it was made by the Amish, that's what it was. It was made by either Amish or Mennonites out in the middle of somewhere, I don't know, Pennsylvania or something, and it is the greatest blanket I have ever had in my entire life. If you get the opportunity to ever get your hands on a squishy down blanket from the Mennonites or the Amish out in Pennsylvania, do it in a heartbeat. I mean, just snag that thing right now. You will not regret the purchase. Looks like they're putting in all of the floorboards right there, which is going to be nice because we could take these beds and move them around, but I've got a better plan. We're about to make ourselves some easy chairs. No, not the chairs that drink too heavily at the bar and then get taken home very easily. They are beds that lay back and allow you to relax. So we're going to put in those squishy beds right there. Let's go to our crafting tree, and we're going to jump straight on into our easy chair, this leather chair that I was lusting after in the previous episode. We've already crafted one, and now we shall place it for maximum relaxation. I think I'm going to put it right there, and maybe we'll put another one right there, and we'll put some torches or some lighting up above it. This could be our reading zone. Our dwarves aren't too keen on reading. I mentioned that in a previous episode, but we're trying to increase their literacy. We've gotten some bad PR. We were up on NPR recently. They did a little expose piece on us. It was very, very embarrassing. They were talking about us on Dateline. Just, we've got to get this thing in, well, not in control, but under control. Let me chop down some more trees. We need to kill some of these berry bushes, as you guys had mentioned, and also I had mentioned in previous episodes. Let's murder some berries here. These twigs and berries are of no consequence to us. That's right, sheep. We are going to send them back to where they came from. We're also going to kill off any pigs and any sheep along the way. We are just going to murder like crazy because we are missing a lot of the raw goods that would be nice. I feel like I destroyed these already in a previous episode and they just came back super rapidly. We really need trees to grow here, though. We are completely and totally out of wood. And I feel as though I am faced with a major problem. Deforestation is threatening our kingdom as it stands right now. So we shall take these berries and we shall turn them into chutney. I don't know. I don't even know if that's what chutney is made out of. I just felt like saying chutney right now. So bear with me. Say chutney with me, my friends. All together, a communal chutney. Alright, you got the chutney out of your system. I think I'm all chutneyed out. I'm all chutneyated. Now then, we need to put another scaffold in right there, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to scooch that wall back. It'll also fix our problems. I may scooch this one back a tad too to keep everything symmetrical. Got our first tower made though. And it might be a cool idea to think about dropping, oh, we were under attack by what? Just a boar? Yeah. Sounds like the synopsis of most of my college classes. You're being assailed by a boar. Although that's a boar of a completely different type. Now then. Let's get back to our crafting menu. Ooh, there's a sofa. What? I am so jelly right now. Let's leather this thing up. I mean, if we can have a sofa versus just like an easy chair or a love chair, a love seat. I think that's what people like to call it when they're trying to sound like they're going furniture shopping. They're like, do you have the love seat in orange? There we are. So that's got to be crafted. We've got a glass vase over here, or a glass vase if you're trying to sound classy. Let's take some of our raw refined materials here and we'll craft that on up. And that's got to be crafted as well. Nothing else here in the recipe menu. I do want to pan through really rapidly and make sure that we've got everything that we need. You guys had said that the Santa Cloak... Oh, they put in info. They patched it. 20 armor. Oh my god. Well, everybody needs a magical Santa Cloak then. We're also going to make our first steel helmet. So I need to... I could click this, couldn't I? There we go. Make it my... Oh, it auto-filled all of it too. I love you developers. I love the developers so much right now. They are the greatest. Developers, I could give you the largest of Splattercat hugs right now, and those come with extra fluff because cats have fluffy tummies, and the tummy is the part that presses up against you the most during a hug. If we had to do sort of a, oh, I don't know, an autopsy of a hug, although that kind of implies that the hug is dead, and hugs are made of happiness, so I don't think they ever die. But let's put our Santa cloaks on some people before I run off on this ridiculous tirade. I'm going to put a Santa cloak on you because you're one of our archers. I'm going to put a Santa cloak on you because you're one of our swordsmen. I'm also going to give you a hat del Santa. There it is right there. Del Kris Kringle. And then I'll also give you one? I mean, I suppose I'll just spread the love around to the first people that come up. I don't have anybody else that's a fighter. So, oh, I should give it to the archer. Never mind. Give me back your shirt. He's like, oh, I already got my smell on it. I already sweated like several liters on that thing, and it's only been a few seconds. Dwarves are super sweaty. I don't know if you guys do that. Let's put that on our archer. He has no shoes. He's walking around like a hobo. Let's give him... We need to craft some shoes. I'll try and make some iron ones here. We're under attack yet again. He's now running from the boar. I have the same reaction every time I get into a physics class. I enjoy the content, but I dislike being taught it. That is a tough boar right there. He is not going down without a fight. He's being shanked repeatedly. Well, somebody go over there and finish him. Come on now. And they're already growing back. Do I have to get rid of the roots, maybe? I think I may have to get rid of the roots. So let's go ahead and bulldoze the roots on all of these, and then I'll replace the dirt up and underneath. Yep. Let's mine all of this guy. Yeah, you guys had mentioned that I think in a previous episode's comments where I should go through and I should fill my kingdom with dirt. Although medieval kingdoms don't really seem to have a problem with that, we're going to continue to make the problem worse by making all kinds of mud that they can track around. Also landed ourselves a little more stone. And mayhaps a bit more water. For the Emperor and Davian Thule. I don't know why. I love that. Whoever did that voiceover is like one of my favorite voice actors. For whatever reason, just the intonation of everything that he did right there, the intonation was just incredible. The Space Marines. I am Davian Thule. Gabriel Angelos. Actually, I think that's what it was. It was Gabriel Angelos that did that voice. It wasn't, or was it Davian Thule? I can't even remember now. I think it's Gabriel Angelos. It's been too long. Speaking of which, they need to make more Warhammer 40k games. So, Games Workshop, I know you don't have a problem with making money because you charge me like $800 every time I want to buy a little plastic doll. Action figure, that is. So, if you want to make more money, my dear, dear amigos over at Games Workshop, maybe make another game there?
Can I convince you?
That was my I'm gonna convince you voice. It was also my I do cocaine voice. If you wanted me to do my Dr. Roxo impression, just he was one of my favorite characters back when I used to watch Metalocalypse. I don't even think that show's on the air anymore, but it was a great show while it was there. I absolutely love Dr. Roxo. The fact that he was always off snorting cocaine was hilarious to me. And I don't even know why. Substance abuse is not a joke, guys. It is not a joke. I'm trying to be humorous about it, though. So we're just gonna be funny about it. Forget about it. We're not even gonna consider it anymore. We are going to make light of a horrible, horrible blight on modern culture. Let's put some torches down. Right there, and right there, I think. Sehr gut. And what else can we apply ourselves to? We made ourselves some pot, although not the kind of pot that we would want to make in order to keep our dwarves happy. Still, aesthetically, I think it's going to make the place look a little bit more beautiful. We've got a lab, too. Should probably place that somewhere. What do you guys think? Yeah, let's do that. Maybe we can put the lab up here on the top of this castle so that if it blows up, like if this turns out to be some ridiculous dwarvish meth lab and it blows up, it doesn't take everybody else with them, because this is sort of our food supply and production down here, so we've got to be careful about it. We don't want this getting blown up. That would make us all very, very... Oh god, we've got a portal that's opened up. Terrifying. With a hellish red glow. I'm gonna craft some stuff. Let's find our sofa over here. We shall place our sofa down in the bottom. Cool. Very, very cool. This is looking like a chill pad where people can just sort of hang out. I like it. We're going to put a torch right there next to the wooden walls, because that's where you put torches if you're conscious about decoration. You put them next to the wooden walls so that they can burn down the entire civilization, and we can have a giant just... Oh, cool. They've given us some free XP. We can have a giant tragedy on our hands. I was also going to clear this out and turn it into something nice. Let's get started with this invasion. I know that I've probably got people who are wounded and not feeling so well. Our catch-all for water has worked out pretty well. At the bare minimum, it's going to slow down a lot of these invaders. Unfortunately, they're insisting on fighting up here, which is giving the enemy free shots on them. These dwarves are so damn dumb. Just so intensely stupid, like... Stop jumping up there, you morons. Allow them to come down to the bottom. I hate you so much right now, dwarves. You deserve whatever happens. In this following little bit, you deserve what happens, dwarves. Mark my words. Hopefully the guys get over here with Santa glory, and the power of gift-giving keeps them alive, because we need to give the enemy the gift of cold steel in between their ribs right now. Looks like the Yatagon's doing its good down in there. We didn't lose anybody, did we? Okay, we're still at 9. I was pointing at the wrong thing. I was like, look, there's a 9. We're talking about 9, so I'm just going to point at the closest one. The nice thing about these invasions is they do allow us to stockpile a little bit of XP to keep ourselves... Oh good, our archer tried to come back in from the other direction. It appears to have backfired on him. Or front-fired, I guess, depending on your orientation. It all seems sort of relative, to be honest. That seems a little bit like an ambiguous designation. I don't want to be that guy pointing things out like that, but it does seem a tad ambiguous. Continues aboard. I am going to get back in with my dwarves now. We're just going to send them off to bedtime. Nighty nighty. Alright, let's speed this thing up because we're at a time of rest. And I know that that's sort of boring, and nobody wants to see my dwarves sit around and sleep. Nobody wants to be that voyeur posting pictures up on the internet of sleeping dwarves. I'm sure it exists. I never remember. I always call it like Rule 36, but I'm sure it's like Rule 39 or something. I never remember numbers either. Bad memory is bad memory, no matter how you slice it. Can you slice memories? They don't seem sliceable to me. I'm going to remove that wall right there and replace it because they seem to have forgotten about the job that I've given them. I feel like there's a lot of dwarves running around now too. There's just I'm sorry, no. Of course there's a lot of dwarves running around. The game is about dwarves. I feel like there's a lot more poltergeists flying around and everything too, which is sort of weird. I'm gonna put another teleport out this way so that they can get there if they need to do some work. That zombie was on fire underwater, which don't even ask me to explain the physics of that. I know it's possible. I just can't explain it to you right now. I know they have those torches that burn underwater for doing welding jobs, but I'm not experienced enough with welding. I know somebody that did acetylene and like SIG and TIG for a while, but those are just like the buzzwords that I throw out there whenever somebody talks about welding so that I can sound like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, SIG and TIG, acetylene, propane, and then I just hope they don't question me further. Everybody's got that. Whenever you're trying to sound like you're talking out of your ass, or you're trying to sound like you're not talking out of your ass. I said that the exact opposite of the way that I wanted to envision it. Let's sleep some dwarfs. Why are you all running back to battle when I'm telling you to go to sleep? See, I'm saying go to sleep and you're collecting resources now. Come on now, dwarves. It's nighty-nighty, timey-timey. Oh, I thought he was gonna go sleep on the couch. I was gonna be like, he's the prototypical bachelor in this group. I used to sleep on my couch all the time when I was a bachelor. I still sleep on my couch every now and again. Unfortunately, Lady Love being what she is, now I've gotta sleep in a bed like a normal human being, you know, whatever. I had a futon in my living room for a while that I slept on too. I will say that given the choice between a couch and a bed, or a floor, while we're on the subject, floors are pretty uncomfortable too. I will take the bed. Unfortunately, I do not own one. I feel like our portals are closing really, really quickly for some reason. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Let me put a portal back in here so they can be on their way a little bit more rapidly. It could be because we're fast forwarding the series, and I think it's just closing down faster than I'm realizing. It's closing down after 1 minute because we're at two times. I thought we were 3 times. It's closing down after like a minute and a half, which is unexpected. Everyone, sleep the sleep. Or did they break something down? Oh, they broke the door down. Dicks. Okay, well, let's replace the door then. That explains why nobody's sleeping. It's always something around here with you guys. If the door's broken, do I have to craft another one? It appears so. I thought it just popped it back Minecraft style and you could recollect it for later. Crafting menu. Present forth unto me a door that I might craft it. For dory goodness. Am I almost at metal doors, though? There's almost no point doing it if we're almost at the metal doors. Ah, we've got to place a metal hatch. Let's place the metal hatch, and then we'll just make a bunch of metal doors, and that'll solve our problem completely. Metal hatch, where are you? I know you're in here somewhere, and I'm just not seeing you. I've probably panned past it twice now. Sigh. Let's do... Oh, I can't click you either. That is pleasurable. Of all the things that have ever been pleasurable, that pleasures me the most, that I cannot click you to find the recipe that I want. Is that an angry bird up in that cage? I love references. Let's place our angry bird. I can't place him on the table. That's what I wanted to do, is put him on the table, but... Alright, since he doesn't want to be on the table so people can admire him, I guess I'll just put him on the floor there. That's kind of cool. That bird definitely is having a terrible, terrible day, which is kind of unfathomable because it looks like he's been eating cake or something. Well, he's pretty rotund. He's robust. He is circular. He is ellipsoidal, which I think he's been eating pretty well, and that makes me pretty happy. Nothing makes me happy like eating. Hatch, let me click you. Please let me click you, Hatch. Oh, there it is. How many times did I pan past that? We gotta do a head count now. Somebody do a head count of how many times I pan past it. It's gotta be at least like 5. Embarrassing. Completely and totally embarrassed. Alright, so we've placed the hatch. Now we can remove the iron hatch, which means we can go down the crafting tree. And we can make ourselves the next thing down the list, which is the iron door. That's gonna take us a bit. Nice. I enjoyed that thoroughly. I think we only need 1 for now, but I need to make about 3 so that we can seal off this too. Our dear, dear friend, the nasty grass, has showed back up. So let's knock that on out of the way, and then we'll try and... Let me find some light emitting objects so that we can cure this problem once and for all. I've already got them. Never mind. Chopped out that remaining ivy. And you'll forgive me, I've been talking a little funny the last few episodes. I've been grinding my teeth in my sleep. And unfortunately, it means that my jaw gets all tired. It's the weirdest feeling. Like, you know what it feels like when you go and you like do some curls or something and then your arm feels all weird and shaky? It's like that, but with my jaw. And it's the strangest feeling to describe to people. Makes the proper enunciation very, very difficult because I just want to be lazy about the whole thing and just be like, you know, I'm gonna go down, just kind of boomhauer my way through this whole thing. Which, on a separate note, once again, one of my favorite shows. I adore King of the Hill. Such a great show. I don't see any more trees growing, so I'm going to try and go easy for now. Yeah, I'm going to try and go easy on my wood supply for now. Let me get back in here, and we're going to place those iron doors in just a minute, but we got to make 2 more locks. So let's make a few more locks. There they are, and then we want to make 3 doors. We are going through a lot of iron right now, but bear with me. I think it'll be worth it in the end. We need 4, so let's do 1 more lock. I did something dumb. Hold on. Let's go back to the lock. There we go. And then once we've got that there, fantastic. Let's make ourselves a few more doors. Amazing. And so those 3 are going to need to be crafted now. I'm going to remove that hatch in just a second. We need to get people sleeping, though. We haven't had anybody regenerate in quite some time. And since we're planning on going deeper down into the depths in the near future, we want to make sure that everybody is at their tippy-top best. I'm going to mine out that right there. Everything from the back walls and the front walls. We'll drop a scaffold in right here to grab that. Hopefully there's some in the background, too. We'll grab that little bit of resources there. I'm going to continue mining out this way, because it looks like there's something a little bit further down the pipe. Let me refill my food stocks too, because I'm willing to bet they may be getting a little low now. Nope, I don't want to do that either. I wanted to do this. I also think I have some bread laying around. They finally got done milling out all that flour, which will be nice too. Are the doors done? Where are the doors being crafted? They're being crafted right here. I love the little dance they do while they craft. They've given it kind of a little rhythmic 2-step motion, and I find it enjoyable to look at. Put the door back in there, and once those are fully stocked, we'll put 1 there. We're going to have to rotate that one back into place. Thank you for telling me how to do that, by the way. In the past, you guys have been invaluable for teaching me new things about this game. We'll break that bastard down there, and now that those 2 doors are back in place, we'll put 1 there, and we'll have to rotate that one too, unfortunately. We'll put a door there. And I do feel like there's another one to be crafted. I thought I made 4, but I may have been terrible at counting. Rotate that hatch the way that I want it to face. It'll work, whatever. The important hatches are in, and that's all that matters. Now that people are able to go to sleep, let's send them off. All these guys are about due for a little bit of nap time. Much like a grumpy 2-year-old, it's time to put them away. And for those of you out there with 2-year-olds, I sincerely apologize for what the universe is putting you through right now. Be strong, brothers and sisters. Be strong. God, these berry bushes are just breaking my heart right now. These are what we need right here, like these crazy birchwood trees. We need loads and loads of birchwood. Oh, we do have an extra hatch. Good. I knew I made enough. I didn't think that my counting skills had become that poor. I don't have the wood right now to make any more ladders, so I'm going to back off that prerogative right now. And let's continue mining these goodies out. Our iron supply is just dismal. Absolutely atrocious, so if we can mine all of this out, I feel like it'll give us a leg up on what's coming in the future. Okay, and so I'm feeling like we've done a good day's work right now. I'm gonna break this episode off right here. My name is Splattercat. We are playing Craft of the World, and I hope you're enjoying the episodes as they move along. I think we're getting towards the end. You guys had mentioned that terrible stuff happens down here in the red dirt, so we're gonna get ourselves buried in it in the next little bit. See if we can't get ourselves into a few fights, find some crazy monsters, and finish this series off. My name is Splattercat. I will see you guys next time, and take care out there, everybody.